What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video is me rebuilding, or what I thought was going to be rebuilding, the quarter pipe in my backyard. And after I took the top off and looked at the wood and examined it, I realized that the only thing worth saving on the ramp was the coping and the metal and the skate light, with some minor modifications. So I decided to just use all new wood. I measured out a couple different transitions. I did a 5-foot radius, and then I did a 4.5-foot radius. And I realized that I wanted this ramp to be a little steeper than the last ramp. So I went with the 4.5-foot radius and cut it at 2 feet tall, just like the other ramp. So it's the same height as the last ramp, but it's a little quicker. And I think in the future, when I have another quarter pipe, I will go with the mellower transition, meaning I'll use a bigger radius and a bigger diameter, but I'll actually cut the quarter pipe lower at about 18 inches, so it's that much more fun to skate, and you can get that much more technical on it. But more on that in the future. Then I got to cutting. I cut out the transitions, and then what I did was I lined them up and marked them every 8 inches on the transition. So when I put them together, I knew where I wanted my 2x4s. And then what I proceeded to do was put the 2x4s on, and I put them on the wrong way. And I didn't realize this until I pretty much finished the whole ramp, which is okay, because if I wanted to redo it, I could just redo it, and it would just take me like 20 minutes to take the wood off, redo the 2x4s, and put the wood back on. So right now, as it sits completed, it has the 2x4s on the way you saw it, and not the way they should be. But this ramp is less wide than the last ramp. It's 4 feet wide, and the wood is all new, and it's not going to get landed on a lot. It's mainly just for speed, so I'm not really worried about it. But if you want to troll me in the comments, please go ahead and do so. So after I put the ramp together, I put the coping on, and I did that wrong, or I made a mistake doing that, because what I did was I put the coping on, and then I realized later that I would have to move the 2x4 up all the way to the coping to make sure that the piece of wood was going right up to the coping and had support, because before it would have a gap. After that, put the top on, I think the second time, because I had already put it on. Put the top on, put the wood on. Oh, actually, one of the pieces of wood that's on the ramp is from the old ramp, but it's not from the wood that we used to ride on the ramp. It's actually from the top. So I did recycle that piece. The blue piece you see is from another random scrap I found in the backyard. And then it was skate light time. Put the skate light on. Gianna helped me put both pieces on, because I tried to do it without asking for her help, but I realized that I just needed her help to make it go on right. After that, I wasn't going to cut the metal, but I was like, you know what? I've come this far. Let's cut the metal, countersink the metal, and do it legit. And after I looked at it, I actually skated it once. I don't know if you saw that video. I decided to paint it, and then I made a video, put that on my YouTube, my TikTok, and my Instagram, just as a fun video to ask people what they thought of the mock-ups that I made. And it actually went viral on TikTok. People were very responsive, and they said, you know what, you should do the VHS, you should do the cheese. A few people said the jellyfish. I ended up going with the jellyfish because I had an idea to add more color to it. It's not actually the one in the video on TikTok, and I thought it came out pretty cool. Plus, I really like the concept of skating an inverted underwater ramp with jellyfish on it. So I went with that, and the last thing I did was I decided to paint the coping orange because I thought that if it was going to be blue, it would be hard to see. And I didn't want to make the ramp hard to skate. I wanted to make it fun and friendly, and I wanted to make the coping easily visible. So I went with an orange, which was the closest I could get to coral. So that was it. It was done. After that, I wheeled it back over to the spot where we use it to get speed for the box and where we use it to turn around. And, you know, in the end, it is a fun ramp. If it was all I had, it would be amazing. But since we have the mini ramp, I'm not really worried that we can't do, like, you know, tricks on it like we used to. Or, you know, it's not as friendly to do blunts and, you know, flip-in tricks. But like I said, I'm going to build another one. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope this inspires you to build your own obstacles in your backyard. Hope it inspires you to work on projects, art projects. I hope it inspires you to create. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.